Hi Pokefans, welcome back to part 14 of my Indigo Disk DLC. Last episode we went ahead and completed Parent's Quest, which was pretty cool. We got to catch 2 new legendary Pokemons. I believe these are exclusive to Scarlet and Violet version, so the locations might be a bit different. In my case I did have Scarlet, so you do have the Scarlet version locations. If you haven't watched that video, go ahead and check it out right now. In today's episode, we are gonna go ahead and defeat all of the tough trainers that we have in each of these biomes. I believe we have at least around 15 trainers. I think I only battled one of them by accident, so I am pretty excited to go ahead and check out all of their location as well as defeat them. If you haven't done that, you can go ahead and check out my video. I do have the location for each of them to make it much easier for you all. Initially, I decided to go ahead and defeat all of the trainers right here in Savanna biome, and this one is the first one. He is right next to the Savanna Plaza where we actually defeated Crispin. All of the trainers that I'll be defeating today will be around 70 to 85 level. So if you haven't yet gone ahead and defeated the Elite 4, I would definitely recommend challenging all of these trainers before that. This is a really good way to kind of train up your team members and level them up. In my case, I really didn't realize this one, so I actually left them out. That's the reason why I'm going back to defeat all of them. They also count in with the number of trainers that you do defeat per each biome. So if you have defeated all of the other trainers in each of these biomes, go ahead and challenge these ones. Now I did decide to go ahead and speed up this video a bit. This is especially because all of these trainers did take me quite a long time to defeat them. I believe the original video is over an hour, and I definitely don't want it to be that long. I also wanted to cover all of these trainers in a single episode, so this video will be a bit more sped up. Alright, now that we have defeated the first trainer, we are going to go to the second location. I've just gone ahead and put the location on my map. You can definitely pause the video in between to go ahead and check out the exact location right there. Sometime in between, I definitely would recommend going ahead and healing up your team members. A couple of these battles are definitely quite tougher and your Pokemons might actually get a bit tired. In my case, it isn't too bad considering that all of my team members are at level 100. But here we have a second trainer right next to the central plaza. I believe Savanna biome is the only one that has very less strong trainers. I'm guessing there are only 3 of them. But a couple of other biomes do have quite a few, especially the canyon one. This trainer seems to be pretty versatile with her Pokemon. She doesn't seem to have a proper team. So I would recommend just having all of your team members, and hopefully you'll be able to defeat them all. I'm guessing you really do not get anything by defeating all of these trainers other than just for experience. And maybe the presents that you will get by talking to the NPC that is right next to the Pokemon Center. She does have, I believe, 2 different items once you defeat all of the trainers. But of course, other than this, I believe you'll be able to train by, I guess, inviting the gym leaders from Paldia. This one you'll be only able to do once you are a champion. But it's pretty nice. You'll be able to get a couple of unique items as well as Pokemon that you could trade with the gym leaders. Not only that, if you defeat all of the gym leaders as well as your friends, you will be able to challenge a secret, I believe, person. I am sure that I know who it is, but I don't want to spoil it for you all. Definitely go ahead and let me know if you have completed that. Personally, I haven't done that yet. It is still in my list. One of these days, I'll just do a video where I'm just challenging all of the gym leaders and the other people that are available in the league room computer. I believe you need around 200 BP points each time you actually invite them. So I guess it will come around quite a few. If I have to just guess on top of my head, maybe at least 4000 BP. So make sure you actually complete a lot of blueberry quests before you actually try that out. Now here's the next trainer. This one is in coastal biome. I believe we only had 2 tough trainers in Savanna biome. Coastal biome at least has 3 of them. The first one is right next to, once again, the plaza here in coastal biome, where we actually defeated Lacey. For this trainer, apparently he has a bit more water type Pokemons. That's the reason why I had to switch in Kilowatt-Drill. I believe it will be able to take down most of these Pokemons. I also have Armarouge, but it's a bit tougher. It might go down at any point. There we go. Now I do have to say, I always wanted to use Arachnid, but never got any chance to actually use it in my team. It is part water and bug type, which is pretty nice. Hopefully the next time I just start playing this game, maybe offline, I'll go ahead and add this one to my team. Although it does have a pretty bad defense and special defense, I might have to be a bit careful with that, but either way it is a pretty cool Pokemon and I really like its design. Seems like we are doing pretty well. Some of these trainers do only have around 4 Pokemons, but I believe the more further you go, that is, the more you go into polar biome as well as canyon biome, you would probably have trainers with 5 to 6 Pokemons. Let me see the location for the second one. Alright, for the second one you have to actually go into the Torchlit Labyrinth. This one is right at the entrance. The entrance is right next to the class here in coastal biome. Not the first one that we went to where we had to meet up with Lacey, but there is a classroom right on top of a hill, and that's where you have the entrance for this labyrinth. There you go. This one had a golem, which is pretty nice. Luckily I was able to find a golem in a terra raid battle, so I was able to catch it. The same goes for Hyperior. I believe the only Pokemon that is left for my Pokedex is actually Slowking. I believe that is one of the Pokemon that I have yet to find. Hopefully I'll be able to find it one of these days. I also have to, I believe, get 2 more starter Pokemons which I actually missed. Those 2 I'm pretty sure I'll be able to get once I increase the biome here on this area. But as for Slowking, I think I'll have to just hope that someone's having that in the terra raid battle and Pokeportal, or just randomly find it in my own map. There we go, we have defeated this trainer as well. One more trainer left for this location. This one is also inside Torchlit Labyrinth. I'm really not sure on the exact location, so let me quickly go ahead and find the location for this trainer. After searching for a long time, I was finally able to find her. I believe she is right at the exit of one of the caves. I'll go ahead and just show the map once this battle is completed. But definitely this one was a bit trickier to find. I guess if you have already explored the labyrinth, you probably know her location. In my case, I did see her when I went through this labyrinth the first time, but I never really took down the pathway, so I wasn't really sure where she was. She has pretty good Pokemons right here. As you can see, she did a pretty massive damage on Lucario. I'm also using a couple of items to heal up my team members, just to make sure that I don't have to really go back to heal up my team members after each of these battles, especially since some of these trainers are quite far away from a Pokemon Center. There we go, let me heal up Lucario for the second time. Surprisingly, it actually didn't go down. I was expecting Superpower to actually take down Lucario here, even though it is at level 100. After all, her Pokemons are pretty strong as well. There we go. Okay. That was another lucky turn right there. Survived with 1 HP. I guess I do have to once again heal it up. I'm just gonna go ahead and use Flash Cannon on one of our team members. I don't know which one it was, but hopefully I'll be able to take this one down. Malamar is pretty tough. It does have a pretty good typing. I believe I've used Malamar once in my team. It is a really good team member if you want to try out a new Pokemon. But in this case though, it is pretty tough to take down. Let's see if we can take it down with the Tinkaton. Ooh, alright, Mystic is using Protect. Couple of these trainers do have Pokemons that will use Protect, which is a bit annoying, considering that they are just, I guess, delaying the doom of their Pokemon. But it's alright. I should be able to take them down without having too much of an issue. But of course, I might have to heal up my team members after this one. This battle has been a bit tougher. It's time for me to take down the Mystic as well. I do have Ogerpon still in my team, who is definitely doing pretty good damage on most of these Pokemons. Let's see which ones are up next. I believe she had only, no other Pokemon left. Now here is her location. As you can see, it is quite close to the coastal outdoor classroom, but you do have to go through a bit of the labyrinth itself to get to that exact location. For the next trainer, I believe they are quite close to this one as well, just outside the labyrinth, maybe down here somewhere. Let me go ahead and head down. There we go, there he is. He was right at the bottom of that waterfalls. Other than this one, we have one more trainer left right here in Coastal Biome, which means we had around 5 trainers for this one. It still seems that all of these trainers are having Pokemons around level 75. I'm surprised. I remember having trainers around level 80. Maybe those are only in the Polar and Canyon Biome. For now, they do have a couple of unique Pokemons. I guess this is an easier way for you to at least add the entry to your Pokédex before you actually catch most of these. It's actually a bit surprising to actually see Torkoal in one's team. After all, Torkoal is pretty slow and very tricky to actually use in your team. But I'm quite happy to see someone at least using it. I've actually tried using Torkoal before and it didn't really work out for me. I usually like Pokemons that are much faster and do have more attack than really depending on their defense more. So I guess it's really not in my strategy to actually use this Pokemon. We also see him using Alomomola, which is quite rare as well. I mean, I would never use this Pokemon just because of the fact that it doesn't really evolve. It's a bit trickier to use these stage 1 Pokemons. They are quite powerful in the beginning of the game, but as you go on forward, it is quite tricky to actually keep them up. But it's quite nice to see that some of these trainers do actually use them. Now that we are done with the coastal biome, I'm just going to the canyon biome. This one actually has a lot of different trainers, especially inside the Charstone Cave, which, as I said with the labyrinth, is pretty tricky to find if you don't know where they are. I'm pretty sure that I'll be definitely lost in the canyon biome. But before I go into the labyrinth, I'm just gonna go ahead and check out all of the trainers right here. This one is right next to, once again, the plaza. I believe there are at least one trainer right next to the plaza for each of these biomes. Surprisingly, this trainer has psychic type Pokemons, which is pretty nice to see. I personally don't really use psychic type Pokemons too much these days, especially since they are a bit fragile. I do have Amarouge in my team. That's because it is part fire type as well. But if you have to ask me, I would rather have a fairy type Pokemon in my team than a psychic type. But I'm guessing that's just me. Either way, it's pretty nice to see all of these Pokemons. As for Alcremie right here, I'm actually trying to find its other forms. I believe we have to get the different kinds of sweets to actually evolve it. I do not remember how many types there are, but I believe you do have a item that you can actually use to get different types of sweets for our creamy. It is a item creator. You will be able to get that one through the computer in the league room. I'm gonna go ahead and cover this one in the next episode, so if you're wondering how to get it, you can definitely check it out. But right here I'm going to the next location. This one, though, I already knew. It's actually right in the center over here in Canyon Biome. I believe I have come to this location to catch Skarmory before, so I was actually knowing the location for this one. I think there should be one more trainer left outside before we go into Charstone Cave. But let me quickly go ahead and defeat this trainer right here. It's becoming a bit easier to defeat most of these with Lucario. I would say Lucario is definitely a really cool Pokemon to have in your team, as it does have coverage for a lot. I guess you do have to be a bit careful about Psychic and Fire-type Pokemons, or Armoroots especially, but other than that, Lucario is pretty powerful. Of course, it might go down if you have a Ground-type Pokemon, but I believe that it is quite faster and can definitely deal a lot of damage. There we go, that is all on this trainer as well. Definitely one of the easiest battles I have had in Canyon Biome. Let me quickly go ahead and heal up my team members. I feel that I do neglect healing them up. Of course, if I'm right next to the plaza, it's much easier. But either way, here we are in Charstone Cavern. I believe the first trainer should be on top of the sled somewhere, or maybe two trainers here. I'll just try to actually find them and defeat them as I go. I've actually never completely explored this one. To be honest, it does have multiple entrances. You also have multiple secret caves inside this cavern itself that leads back to the central huge dome here. So definitely I'll be exploring all of them, trying to find the trainers. Although I would recommend for the cavern as well as the labyrinth that we did explore before, I would just recommend going through the whole area. That way you'll be able to, I guess, get all of the trainers. But of course, I'll just go ahead and show the location through the map. Not really sure how well it is gonna help, considering that you are, after all, underground. Here is our first trainer inside the cavern. She definitely does have Focus Sash on her team members, and of course they survive. It's a bit annoying. Thankfully, we do have a Pokemon Center here, which I can actually use to just go ahead and heat up my team members. Sadly, Ursaluna did go down right there. I'm actually trying to level up Ursaluna to level 100. It is definitely one of those team members that I really enjoyed using in Kitakami. So I definitely wanted to be in level 100, just like a couple of these other Pokemons. There we go. I guess the only thing left to do is take down this Kingdra right here, which shouldn't be too difficult. There we go. That is on Kingdra. This is the first trainer here in the cavern. Let me quickly go ahead and take a look around. I would say one of the advantages of defeating this trainer is that you get a lot of Pokemon. So if you want to have more, or if you've just bought a lot of items and you don't really have enough Pokemon, this is definitely the best way to get more. Let me explore a bit more on this. Now, this cavern actually extends under the polar biome as well. So the trainers that you might see here is actually from the polar biome, or at least I consider it as that, especially Cecilia right here. I guess I was meant to actually just find the trainers first in Canyon Biome, but since this cavern just extends between both of these locations, I'm just gonna take all of these trainers as coming under one location. Alright, let's see if we can defeat her. she does have 2 flying types. I don't think having Lucario up in front is really gonna help. But either way, Flash Cannon does do a lot of damage, so I'm just gonna use it. Okay, both of them are actually using Fly. At this point, I actually didn't realize that they were using Fly when I was playing this game. Now, as you can see, I still had Lucario up in front. Maybe I should have given a bit more thinking into this one. I was just casually playing this, so I guess I actually missed it. Lucky for me, they actually hit Agapon instead of Lucario, which is surprising. I was guessing them to actually take down Lucario here. For the second turn, Mandibus actually used Protect, which is quite annoying because I actually went with a perfect move to take it down, and now it actually survives another turn, which is quite annoying. Lucario at least survived with 1 HP. I'm actually not too worried in my Pokemon's actually going down. We do have a Pokemon Center here to quickly go ahead and heal up, so I'm just, I guess, using the moves that I have in my team member. There we go, that is on this trainer. Let me heal up my team members before I move on. I believe I have to actually go to the lower level of this cavern to find the other trainers. There should be another one in the same level as I am in, but I'm unable to actually find that trainer right now. So I'm just gonna look around a bit more before we move on. There are definitely a lot of different caves here, which is a bit difficult to actually understand. I really wish we had a map for this cave or this cavern as well. Just like how we had a map for the underground for Shining Pearl and Brilliant Diamond. That one helped a lot in navigation, and I really wish that was actually available for this one as well. Let me actually take a look around and try to find the next trainer before we move on. Now I actually made my way back up. This is back on the top level where I actually defeated the first trainer. Apparently I missed this one over there. So let me quickly defeat him as well. It seems that he does have a couple of electric type Pokemons. Should be a bit easier considering I do have Lucario up in front. There we go, that is 2 Pokemons at once. Golurk is not really that good. Rotom either. I might have to be a bit careful. But Agapon should be able to take down Golurk in 1 hit. To be honest though, it actually looks like it's pretty easy right here since I did speed up this video. But in reality it was pretty slow and I was actually getting pretty tired at this point. I believe I only had around 5 more trainers left. But it was around 15 minutes, so I was actually getting quite exhausted. Thankfully we do have speeding up in this video, so it's so much easier to actually look around. Found the next trainer underground. This is in the lower level. Apparently he was within one of the caves. Unfortunately I don't have the exact location for this one, especially since I was just roaming around and randomly found him. You could definitely check out my map once this battle ends, but I guess the only way you'll be able to find this one is by just looking around the different caves. Make sure that you don't really go in circle, which is actually possible, and I have actually done that. I ran around for around 10 to 15 minutes until I realized that I was going through the same loop and I had to change my directions to find this trainer. Now this one actually has a flying type Pokemon, although I'm really not sure how helpful it is right here in this cavern, considering that all of them are electric type Pokemons. But at least he does have Electivire. I believe I was able to find an Electivire once again in the Pokeportal Terra battles. So definitely I would recommend you all to go ahead and host your Pokemon battles if possible, especially with these final evolutions which are quite rare. I believe we'll be only able to find these in the 6-star or maybe sometimes the 5-star Terra battles, and they're quite difficult to kind of defeat by yourself as well if you don't really have the right type of Pokemon. That is all on this trainer. Let me look around for the next one. should be around somewhere in this underground cavern itself. For this next trainer, I had to go to the ground level. As you can see, there is an exit, and I believe that exit is going to the polar biome. This is where I found this trainer. She does have fighting type Pokemons. I think this one is the last trainer I had to defeat in this cavern. Of course, I have defeated one of the trainer, and that trainer was also inside this cavern. I will go ahead and show his location to you all, but I have already defeated that trainer way long ago by mistake. For this one though, it should be pretty easy if you do have a flying type Pokemon. In my case, I should have switched out, but I was too lazy. I just thought that I'll be able to take them down with just my Lucario. Alright, Hitmontop seems to be the last Pokemon. Let me quickly go ahead and defeat it. There we go. That is all on this trainer as well. It seems that most of them do have around 4 Pokemons, which makes it way more easier. The next location is the Pokemon trainers that are in Polar Biome. I believe one is right next to this Pokemon Center. So let me go ahead and battle her. This is the location. So this trainer right here actually has 3 Pokemons only. And she apparently has the same set of Pokemons that another trainer had in the Canyon Biome. Pretty surprising that they didn't really mix the Pokemons up. They could have used a couple of them right here from the Polar Biome, which would have made it so much better. But I guess we have to just work with what we have. At least they gave this trainer a Scizor, which is pretty cool. Scizor is pretty easy to defeat if you have a fire-type Pokemon, so I would definitely recommend immediately switching into it. In my case, I'm able to still take it down with Aura Spear, or maybe a couple of them. There we go, that should be able to take it down. And that is all on this trainer as well. There are only 2 more trainers left. For another one, I believe is right next to a peak, which I've actually seen this trainer before while I was just exploring. It is right next to over here. There we go. This one is at the border between coastal and the polar biome. Let me go ahead and defeat him. He does have a Smeargle, which is pretty surprising. I'm really not sure what kind of moves you could use, but I've seen a couple of people using Smeargle to defeat Pokemon game. I would never want to do that considering I'm not that good at it, but I have seen a couple of people doing this before and it's super nice. Let me quickly go ahead and take down this trainer as well. He does seem to have 4 Pokemons, and I do seem to be having some difficulty. Maybe it's because most of these Pokemons do have Focus Sash, which is so much easier to actually use. Never mind, it healed itself. Let me quickly take down Comfy before I actually go to Smeargle. I wonder if I can actually take it down right now. There we go. 1 more Pokemon left for this trainer. And it's a Blissey, which is surprising. I guess some of these trainers do have a theme, considering that this trainer had only normal type Pokemons. But I'm actually guessing that it's quite rare. Either way, let me quickly try and take it down. Should be able to do that in the very next turn right here. There we go. We have 1 more trainer left. I'm pretty excited. This was definitely in my bucket list for quite some time now. Even though we had quite a few of these trainers, I'm still able to kind of go ahead and cover it at the end. The last trainer is quite close to where the plaza is. So I just made my way to the Polar Biome Plaza. I also had to just heal up my team members, so it was pretty easy fighting this one. Either way, let me quickly go ahead and defeat this trainer. Now this one surprisingly actually had a Ice type Pokemon. I guess that is kind of his theme. It will also make it a bit more easier to take down these Pokemons. Now I did have a bit of an issue trying to find Sandslash, considering that it is from Violet version. But thankfully I did have a couple of other games which did have this Pokemon, and I was able to get it through Pokemon Home. Unfortunately, the only 2 legendary Pokemons that I really need are from Pokemon Violet, and unfortunately I won't be able to get those Pokemons as I don't have the DLC in my Violet version of the game. I'm hoping that someone will actually help me in getting those Pokemons. If you do have the Violet version and you have got the legendary Pokemons that Perrin is talking about, please let me know in the comment section. I would love to just get them in my Pokédex, and I would definitely return them back to you all. But yeah, that is actually needed for me to actually complete my Pokédex. Either way, that is all on all of these staff trainers that we did have in each of these biomes. This one was definitely pretty fun. I really enjoyed defeating all of these trainers. Hopefully you all will also go ahead and defeat these trainers as well. Alright, so that's all I had for this episode. In the next one, we are going to go ahead and check out what more we can do with the computer in the league room. Thank you all for watching. If you like this video, please put a like, and if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing to my channel as it does help me a lot. If you'd like to support me more on Patreon, check out the links in my description, and I'll see you all in the next one.